So I ran a poll on my stories to see what type of videos people would enjoy, and it seemed most people would like how to. So I've done my first crochet how to video, and it is starting at the very beginning with how to make a chain. Chain is the foundation of pretty much every piece of crochet you work on. So it's not too long. Enjoy, give me feedback, but please be kind. Thank you. Okay, so first thing first, you need some wool, obviously. It doesn't matter what you use, we're just practicing. If you've not crocheted before, sometimes it's helpful to use a slightly thicker wool or a slightly bigger hook, just because it gives you a little bit more room to see your stitches and to just to see everything a bit clearer and correct any mistakes that you might make. I'm just using some acrylic, some Stylecraft acrylic, and I have got my hook, which is a 3.5, but like I said, you might want to go a bit bigger if you haven't crocheted before. Yeah, it's different, everybody. So firstly, you need to make your slip knot to go on your hook. So the way I had it explained to me was essentially make a loop so that it looks like a P. Where my thumb and finger is just where the yarn crosses over. So it looks like a P, and then you fold it over. So you've got a piece of yarn inside, which you're gonna pull out like that, which then goes through your hook. And if you pull that, it should just tighten it up. You want it tight so it doesn't slip off, but obviously you don't want it so tight that you can't move it easily or it's going to get stuck. So we're going to look at a chain today. So it really is very easy, but as somebody who remembers what it was like when I first learned to crochet, it's only easy when you've practiced. So I'll try and go slow, but you can give me feedback after this video. Let me know what you think, whether I need to go back, go a bit slower, or even zoom in. This is my first video today, so in fact I might zoom in a little bit. There we go. So you've got your slip knot, you've got your yarn. Don't worry too much about tension. That's something we can talk about as we move on. At the moment, it's more important just to get used to feeling the wool in your hands and getting used to moving the hook around. So tension, I think, comes with practice. What we're going to do, we've got our hook in our right hand, wool in our left hand. You just want to bring it behind your hook and around. In crochet we call that yarn over. So then to make your very first chain, you need to move this loop up your hook, over this and off. So like I said, it's important that this isn't too tight because you need to slip it off the top of your hook. As you can see, mine moves up and down pretty freely. So you've yarned over, you've got 2 loops on your hook. We're going to make it so it's just one again. So we're going to take that and we're going to go over the top. You've made a chain. We yarn over, you slip that off, and we're going to make just chains. So we yarn over, we're sliding, we want to get it over the hook, but we want this loop to stay on your hook. like I said, you'll get used to moving the hook and the wool around and doing it however it's easiest for you. My way of doing it feels normal to me. Other crocheters might look at it and think, oh God, she's cat-handed. It really is just whatever is comfortable, I think. I'm left-handed anyway, so I crochet with my right hand, which might explain some of my cat-handedness. But when you make a blanket, a lot of patterns start with a chain. So it might be like 50 chain plus 2, because you normally leave a couple of extra for turning. But again, hopefully that's something we can move on to. So really, all you need to do is just practice going over and over. It's a very good way, actually, to get your hands used to controlling the wool and the hook together before you move on to anything more complicated. It's a little bit boring in that you're not really making anything, but I do think it is good practice when you're just kind of growing to get used to everything. I remember when I started, I would make quite long chains just to get used to it, and it does kind of help with your tension. As you see, mine look quite even. Yours might look, you know, some might be massive, some might be really tight. It all just depends, but again, we're only practicing, it doesn't matter. But yeah, that's it really. I will be back with a different technique. Maybe we'll do a first part of a granny square next. Granny square is good for everything. I'll probably use a bit of wool that's a bit more colourful. All right, thanks everybody.